Now, today I gotta update the CRM. I gotta have a meeting with the sales team. I gotta talk to the recruiters about hiring. I gotta do some interviews with some sales reps. I gotta create the report for the VP. I gotta do some coaching calls, executive operation meetings, minute meetings, compensation plan change, finance meeting. Why in the world am I meeting with the finance folks? I got so many darn meetings and so much to do that I'm pulling my hair out. And by the way, I got a demo today with some sales reps. It is overwhelming. It is darn challenging, and I can't get anything done to bring in more revenue. Help me.
This episode is brought to you in part by TSE Certified Sales Training Program. It's a program designed to help sales rep and sales team to improve their skills. Teaches you how to find the right customers, what activities, what strategies work, how you go about asking the right questions to build strong value, and what you need to do to close more deals. If you want to test it out for yourself, go to thesalesevangelist.com/free course to get the first 2 modules absolutely free. Again, thesalesevangelist.com/free course. This episode is also brought to you in part by Audible. Knowing that you're a savvy salesperson, you're here, you want to learn, you want to grow. Check out Audible. They have thousands of titles that you can choose from. Take advantage of the 30-day free trial as well as a free book. Simply go to audibletrial.com/TSE. Again, audibletrial.com/TSE. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist Podcast. I'm your host, Donald Kelly, the Sales Evangelist, and I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And as you heard in the teaser, we had Grumpy Sales Manager there, and he was just so frustrated with all the tasks that he has to do. And you know it's true. You know, last week I spoke about sales reps, and what sales reps need the most is for us to show them we care. But unfortunately, at times, it's a very difficult task to get accomplished. How can we show our sales reps that we care for them when we are bogged down by so many other minute things that, don't necessarily move the needle forward? How can you find the time to do the things that really is going to impact your team? And on today's episode, I'm going to give you some thoughts that hopefully can help you. But let's go back and evaluate what Grumpy Sales Manager was saying there. He has a lot that he has to take care of, and I get it. I understand. He has to do reports. He's got to do the meetings with the sales reps. He has the reports that need to get done. You name it. You got to meet with the recruiters and do some hiring. No mention the software and the sales rep reaching out to him for things that he needs for his organization. Meetings with the marketing folks. You got to shadow sellers. There's so many different tasks that are just overwhelming him. Now, Mike Weinberg, in his book, Sales Management Simplified, he goes over, this book is really, really a good book. You can check it out. And if you haven't done so already, find it on Audible. Use our Audible link to get the first book for free and a 30-day trial. But the book breaks down like all of these different sales management myths or challenges and just put it in a succinct way that you can understand it. But one thing that I enjoyed was his thoughts on this. And one place where it stems from is the executive level. So let's say you have a owner or you have VPs. Those individuals usually are the reason why sales managers have such a tough time. And it's not because of the fact that they want reports or things like that. It's the culture that's set within an organization. I think that's the very first thing. The culture is we are not focused on sales. If you have a culture or an organization that's really focused around sales, they're going to do everything they can to cater towards sales effort. And this is not to say that the other departments are important. Of course, finance is important. Your operation is critical. Your product development team, your marketing team, all of these departments are essential to the well-being of your business. But if you don't have any business coming through the door, the sales is the first line. They're the Marines. They're down at the ground level. They're shooting and battling. They're the ones out there. If your sales team is not producing any revenue, then everybody else, all the other departments that come after, marketing and finance and operations and logistics, none of those people will get money. So I hope you feel the weight of the burden that's on your back as a sales rep. Now, as a sales leader, your job is to make that happen. And that's why you see sometimes companies get fed up and they fire sales leaders because they're not seeing results. But the problem is the executives are shaping the culture. So we need to shape a culture that is built around salespeople. Let me give you an example, for instance. Does the compensation plan really tie around the sales rep's success? Or is it built for the company to get the most money as possible? Does sales reps have the proper tools to be successful? Is the sales manager burdened with menial tasks? A healthy organization where it's a great sales culture, they'll actively look for things to take away from sales that's not going to be in their lane, so to speak. If the culture can do this at the top, that's the first thing that you need in place to change. Some of the things I'm going to share today, a lot of the things I'm going to share today are fundamentals, but I can tell you this. I get paid a lot of money, and oftentimes it's because I'm able to point out the fundamental things that people are not doing in their business. And one of the things that I see is that sales managers don't necessarily have a defined role. I know, it sounds stupidly simple, right? But let's break it down. What are you doing on a day-to-day basis? What are you responsible for? If you're responsible for helping your team to generate revenue, all of your tasks, or let's say your KPIs, should line up with that. If you were to write down on a sheet of paper from 1 to 5, 5 meaning like this ties directly to me accomplishing my goals, fulfilling my role, etc., and then 1 meaning it does not tie to me fulfilling my goals, or it doesn't tie to my role at all. You list out everything that you do on a day-to-day basis, or plan this for like a week and just list out all of those different things you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Next to each of those activities, I would then list down 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 to that task if it ties towards you accomplishing your goal. So the first one, let's say having a one-on-one with my sales rep. Is that going to tie towards me helping the team to increase revenue? Absolutely. That's a 5. That's where I can do pipeline reviews with the sales rep and also help her with some of the challenges that she's facing and do those things that I can get done on a one-on-one basis so that she can close more deals. Fantastic. Going into the operations meetings just for a sales rep perspective or the sales leadership perspective. Am I needed in that? Where does that rank? If I don't go to this meeting, can the meeting still run effectively? I'll probably say this is maybe something I don't need to do. Or how does this tie to me accomplishing my goal of increasing revenue? It's probably going to be a 1 for me. It's not to say there maybe once a quarter or something that they might really need my opinion for something. I could probably jump into that meeting from my part, but I probably don't need to sit down for 2 hours every single week for that meeting. How about creating a bunch of different spreadsheets to track sales metrics and performance? Well, a good CRM could do that. Maybe you just need an assistant to help you out do some of those reports. You don't need to spend 2 hours a day. So if I have my assistant and if the company can't afford one, then why don't you just go out and get somebody who could sit down and go into the CRM and look at those different things and pull the reports? You can find somebody on Upworks or whatnot to take care of that task for you. I may rank that as a 3. Going on key account calls. Maybe I need to do that. And that's probably ties to my role. Maybe this is helpful to have, quote unquote, an executive or somebody higher up to take part in a meeting. That's good. I'll do that. That's a 5. It's bringing money in and I'm helping my sales rep. Also ride-alongs as well. Weekly sales meeting. That ties pretty darn close to it. So that's a 5. I'm going to keep that one there. Administrative task of cleaning up my inbox. Definitely not something that I necessarily have to do. And also, you know what? It's probably not something I should be doing in a workday. Maybe I'll do that on a really down time, which doesn't seem to exist for you. Or perhaps it might be an early morning or after hours. Maybe I'm going to spend an hour after 5 p.m. one day and just do that stuff. Okay, maybe I can get that done. But again, can you find somebody else to do that? An administrative assistant? Of course you can. Now, once you start listing all of the stuff out, all the tasks that you have to do, let's focus on 3s, 4s, and 5s. 5s obviously are things that must happen. And here's what I would recommend that you do. I would set, just like you tell your sales rep to block time, you need to block time. So what I mean by that is that your time for meetings, when are we going to have meetings? Set that down. When are we going to have one-on-ones? Set that down. How often I'm going to go on ride-alongs with my sellers? I'll set that down, those reoccurring times. Maybe it's a certain day of the week that you're going to have dedicated towards that. Let's do it. Interviewing. When are we going to do interview? Maybe it's one day per month that I'm going to do that. And maybe there's a time for me to evaluate with our talent folks about going through resumes. Maybe I'm going to do it on a weekly basis so it doesn't all get boiled up when we need new hires. So I'm just going to say maybe Friday afternoons at 3 p.m., review resumes. Once a month, I'm going to have a hiring day, and then I'm going to bring individuals in that I want to look at. Or maybe for your company, depending on size, it might be quarterly. And of course, you're going to have administrative tasks that some of them you just can't shake off to anybody else that you need to do. Yeah, put those in. Those executive meetings that I have to go to, then make sure those happen. Is there a way I can help those meetings to run more effectively? Perhaps I can help my management team at top stick to an agenda and give suggestions or ideas so that I can focus on those things that I need to do and not be around for things that I don't need to be a part of. Set aside time to motivate your team. Maybe you're going to have a weekly or a monthly team lunch where you guys go out and get some barbecue or whatever, but you have that time to build that morale. That's your job. Your time needs to shape the sales team. Your time is important around closing the deals and helping a sales rep to close those deals and to make sure that the things that they're working on are effective and overcoming the challenges. That's where you thrive. You are the coach. Your sales reps are the players. Let's do all we can to make sure they're successful. But if you're bogged down and hiding behind paperwork and locked up in offices and don't get a chance to connect with your reps and feel like you're overwhelmed doing all these other menial tasks, you're never, ever going to hit your goals. Doing this has helped me tremendously as a sales rep and also as a sales leader, where I help to lead teams or coach individuals or lead my own organization. I have to make sure we have the right culture and help to set that culture as a leader. And the other part to that is that I need to focus only on the things that matter to my overall goal as a sales leader. Things that don't matter, I should push off. When I have done this, I am telling you, it's like magic. Money comes through the door. I don't know how that formula works, but it's just something happens when you are focused only on the things that you need to do. Just great things start happening. As a sales leader, tell me what you do to help manage your task. If you have a different strategy, I'd love to hear that as well. Go ahead and share it in the Sales Evangelizers. Tag me on LinkedIn, Donald C. Kelly, and let me know what that is. Drop me a message. I'm curious. As a sales rep, this definitely can help you as well. And I want you to let me know your thoughts. How can you help your sales manager to be more present? Maybe there's something that you can do to encourage them. Let them know that you want them to spend time with you to one-on-one. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that as well from the sales rep side. I share stuff like this because I want to help you. Sales Management Simplified by Mike Weinberg is a great book. Get a free copy or audio copy of that, I should say, at audibletrial.com/TSE. and get a month free of Audible. Also check out TSE Certified Sales Training Program. If you're a sales leader and looking for a way to free up your time and give your sales rep an opportunity to learn from a sales coach, a sales leader, a sales expert, go ahead and have them check out our course, TSE Certified Sales Training Program. We'll give them all the fundamentals so they can find more prospects, have more meaningful conversations, and close more deals. Find more information by going to thesalesevangelist.com/free course. I want you guys to be successful. I want you to find more customers. I want you to build stronger value. I want you to close more deals. But most importantly, I want you to go out each and every single day and do big things. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this episode today as much as I did. And if so, I would ask that you go ahead and leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the podcast. Hit that button. Tell your friends and your colleagues how they can subscribe as well. In fact, show them how they can subscribe. Please help us spread the word. Tell your friends, colleagues, co-workers, family members how they can find the show as well. Our show today was produced by myself and the Sales Podcast Network. It was edited and mixed together by the one and only Jershon O'Bale. Our guest correspondent is May Marr. Our amazing artworks are created by Dessen. Our show note were created by Rael. And our podcast production manager is Mrs. Shannon Rasmussen. You can find audio credits in each of our show notes. And as always, I am your host, your coach, your mentor, your guide down the sales journey, Mr. Donald C. Kelly, the Sales Evangelist. Sales Podcast Network.